Here are 3 secrets that will 10 times your leadership impact, and none of them are what you were taught. Most leaders think that good listening means eye contact and open body language. Research says that is exactly backwards. A study found that the leaders using all the right listening techniques were rated worse listeners than the people who slouched in their chairs and doodled on a notepad. That is not a typo. When researchers dug into why, the answer was simple. The natural listeners have one single thought in their mind the entire time. I want to understand you. The trained listeners were so busy performing the technique, they forgot the whole point of the conversation. That is the problem with a lot of leadership advice. It teaches you to perform the behavior instead of actually becoming the person. And there is a massive difference between the two. I have spent over 20 years and more than 20,000 hours training leaders inside the largest organization of its type in the world. And the leaders who made the biggest impact were never the ones with the most polished techniques. They were the ones who had genuinely became the leader who cared about their people. If you appreciate me making this type of content, let me know by gently tapping that like button and make sure that you are subscribed so you do not miss what is coming next. Let's get into it. Point number 1. Remember that listening study that I just mentioned to you? This is what it actually means to you as a leader. If you're running on autopilot, there's a good chance that you're one of those people that is performing the technique instead of actually caring about your people. There's a fair chance that you're not even aware of it. I've lived this early in my training career. I was taught to always reward the response. When somebody asked a question, I would say, great question. When somebody answered it, I would always say, thank you. So I did hundreds of times, thousands of times, until one day a student questioned my sincerity when I said thank you. And I realized it had become an automated response. I was not sincere. I'd done it so much, I had been trained to say it after every single person spoke. I was unconsciously giving a rehearsed response. And here's the truth about human beings. We can feel that. We always know when somebody actually means what they say and when somebody is simply running a rehearsed script. Your team knows it too. Consciousness is not easy. If it were easy, everyone would be doing it. Automation is much easier. So we fall into these automated patterns without even realizing it. That is exactly why genuine care is so rare. And that is exactly why it is so powerful when a leader actually has it. Point number 2, stop keeping all the decisions to yourself. One of the fastest ways to limit your impact as a leader is to believe that your job is to have all the answers. It feels like a strength, but it is actually a ceiling. When you make every decision yourself, you're telling your team 2 things, whether you mean to or not. First, I do not trust your judgment. Second, my job is to think and your job is to execute. And over time, that message kills initiative, kills ownership, and kills the kind of thinking that you actually need from the people around you. The leaders who have the biggest impact understand something different. Their job is not to be the smartest person in the room. Their job is to make the entire room smarter. And that means pulling the thinking out of people, not pushing decisions down to them. I have watched this play out in training rooms across the country. The manager who asks questions before they talk or give directions. The ones who create space before they fill it with noise. The ones who listen before they lead. These are the ones that constantly get more from their people than the ones who run every play from the top down. Your team has answers that you have not heard yet. Your impact multiplies the moment you start asking for them. Point number 3, make your team dynamic. Here's a simple question I ask leaders in my training rooms. Does it help to think quick on your feet? They all say yes. Does it help to think quick on your feet in an intense sales environment or conversation? Once again, they say yes. Then I ask them one more question. So why are you doing all the talking? Here's what happens in most meetings. The leader talks, the leader commands, the leader tells the people what's going to happen next and what is expected. And the team listens if they are skilled enough to listen. And the moment the meeting ends, there's a good chance that they checked out completely because they were never really in the meeting in the first place. They were just there, but not there, if you know what I mean. When you start asking questions, everything changes. Not questions designed to catch people off guard or to make them feel wrong. Questions designed to let your people know that you truly value them. Questions to let them know that you have something worth saying. When you go around the room and you ask different people different questions, you keep people awake and on their toes. You make the room dynamic instead of passive, and you send a message that is more powerful than anything you could have said directly. I think you matter. I want to know what you think, and that makes them feel significant. And here is where it gets powerful. You never shame, you never embarrass, and you never do the subtle eye roll or the dismissive pause that tells someone that their answer did not land. Every answer is an opportunity for you to be kind and to help understand that person at a higher level. That is how you build psychological safety. That is how you build a team that actually speaks up when it matters. But here's the part that most leaders miss entirely. When your team answers your questions, they are seeding you with information. They are handing you the language of their concerns, the priorities that actually live inside of their head. And when you finally do present your message, when you lace it with their thoughts, with their words, something remarkable happens. Your message becomes their message, and people do not resist their own message. They own it. They carry it. They execute it with a level of commitment that no command will ever produce. And here's the deeper vision underneath all of this. Make a decision that your team operates like a single living organism, where every single person is connected by a cable of information flowing in both directions. Not just top down, not just bottom up, every direction, complete communication between everyone. Think about it this way. Imagine one of your people on your team is your arm, but it's a prosthetic arm. You reach out and you touch something and you feel nothing. No feedback, no sensation, no information coming back to you. That person is on your team, but they are not really connected. Now imagine your other arm, your real arm. You reach out and you touch a wall and you can feel the texture. You touch the gravel and you can feel every pebble. You touch a tree and you can feel the bark. That arm is communicating. That arm is part of you. That is the difference between a team that functions and a team that thrives. You want super fiber optics between you and every single person that you lead. And that kind of connection does not happen by accident. It requires trust. It requires acceptance. It requires every person knowing that you have their back and what they say matters, and that information moves freely in this organization without fear of consequence. It requires a level of consciousness that is unusual, but it is not impossible. And the leader who builds it creates something that most teams never experience. A group of people who think and move and respond together like a single living system. 3 secrets to 10 times your leadership impact. Stop pretending that you care and start actually caring. Stop keeping all the decisions to yourself and make your team dynamic. Here is your one action today. In your next meeting, before you say a single word, ask your team what they think first. Just that. See what happens. If you appreciate this video, let me know by gently tapping that like button and subscribe so that we can keep growing together. We are not here to avoid pressure. We are here to embrace it. We are building strength and we are turning snowflakes into diamonds.